Welcome to the third episode of Trying Your Ideas. For this one, I chose a particularly interesting idea, which had a decent amount of likes, so we're gonna choose this. The comment is this: a level where you are on fire, slowly burning, and once you reach a certain time, you die. But there are some little patches of water with some funky path to get to that unignite. You will slowly start burning again after leaving water, and you need to get in water enough times to not die during the level. So, yeah, this is a pretty interesting idea in theory, but in practice, I decided to simplify that idea for now because I don't have yet time for making a level like an actually fully fledged level. So, I decided to take a copy of Stereo Madness and try and implement the idea there. So first thing you might notice is the fire background I have here. This has a group of two, and it is at the beginning of the level. It's positioned there. And this is just to for the background to follow the player, as well as this. This is to align itself with the perspective of the player, the camera, so that fills the entire camera. This one just makes the uh, this one just makes the opacity to 1, and this one just hides it. Yeah, that's pretty much uh, kind of like a design kind of thing instead of actually being important, just kind of there. Now, the important bit. The particles, I decided to place them to kind of show that the character is on fire. It is following player X, player Y. There's a block here as well with an H block, so that the character doesn't have any sort of uh, attempt of escaping the particle, so that it won't be misaligned. Now here we have a counter set to item ID 1 and group 3. As you can see, this is also group 3, the particles are also group 3. And like I said, group 3 just locks it to player X and locks it to player Y. Now, the important bit. Over here, I have an invisible saw set to group 3 and group 5. Group 5 is toggled off, and group 5, this move trigger, aligns itself with the player's position. So once the level starts, the saw is toggled off, but is moved to the player's position. Then we have a spawn trigger of group 4, a pickup trigger of group 4, and an instant count trigger of group 4. This one doesn't have any groups, so this is just basic spawn trigger execution. You have a spawn trigger that activates group 4 without any sort of delay. This one has a delay of 1 second, which is spawn triggered and multi-triggerable. This one is item ID 1 and count -1, can be spawn triggered and multi-triggered. And this is to detect if the item ID value has become smaller than 0. So I click the smaller checkbox here. And it's also spawn triggered and multi-triggered. And the target ID is 5. As you can see, it will toggle on the invisible saw once the item ID value reaches lower than 0. This pickup trigger sets a stationary value and adds 15 units to item ID 1. So yeah, that's pretty much the setup. As for the patches of water, I decided to kind of make them out like this for now. Each patch of water has a pickup trigger, item ID 1, count of 5, that is touch triggerable. So, here, let me show a little bit of it. As you can see, as I'm playing the level, it starts to count down. If you miss a patch of water, it's basically game over, as you are about to see in a few seconds. Alright, so the invisible saw has killed me instantly because I missed this patch of water. So each patch of water, a small patch of water, adds 5 seconds to the timer. The timer is basically a countdown of how much you have left before you die. I decided to do this for the entire level, yeah, just because I can. So I'll play the level and we'll see how it pans out. Okay, alright. So as you can see, we are progressing with the level on fire. But that's fine because we got little patches of water spread around. Also, there's no audio for copyright reasons. I might get another copyright strike like I did. That's why you might find me using various songs on various videos instead of the usual stereo madness. And I clutch that. Alright then. 0, 4, 3, 2, and alright. So far, so good. Okay, so there were two patches of water that saved us there. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's a patch of water here as well, which is nice, and a patch of water here as well. Gives us some time. And a little patch of water there, toxic water. I decided to place that just for fun. That's not actually supposed to be included, but hey. Okay, so that's pretty much the gist of what it does. So there you have it, your level. When it reaches 0, it kills you immediately. So there you have it. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, that's it. Goodbye.